Thanks to everyone for coming. Hello and a warm welcome to everyone joining us today. It's very great to have you here for this exclusive sneak peek preview of CIB 7 2.2. It's awesome to have all of you here. My name is Tom Gartmann. I'm Key Account Manager for CIB 7 here at CIB Software, together with Oleg Skrypnyuk, our product owner for CIB 7. We'll walk you through what's coming at the end of May. Oleg will do most of the heavy lifting today. I'm here to set the stage and bring you home at the end. One quick message before we start. So we have plenty of demos planned for you guys. So please drop all of your questions in the QA tool as we go. And please feel free to upvote all the questions that you see there, so we can pick the most wanted questions and go through them. Another message is that we'll publish on YouTube this session within the next week, so you can share it with all of your colleagues. And yeah, here's what we will cover today. We will talk about Spring Boot 4, then the long-awaited Web Modeler, once in Community Edition, and then also in Enterprise Edition. And then we're going to talk about the new agentic AI connector. So with this saying, I give it over to you, Oleg. Stage is yours.
All right, thank you, Tom. So first of all, I would like to thank all of you people joining us today and using CIB 7 and giving us feedback all the time. Really appreciate that, and to see that it is really useful and important not only for us and our customers, but also for others. Through the whole presentation, I will be presenting you the CIB 7 demo running on my machine with the new features that we are going to release soon. I will start this demo with just an empty Community Edition of CIB 7, and we'll continue showing you the features here. So first of all, it runs locally on my machine, and I have it connected to the Postgres database. There's also a local one. The first point on the agenda is Spring Boot 4. So generally, I was thinking about how to show you that we are supporting Spring Boot 4. Most simple way, I would say that if we will go to the system and take a look at what I'm running here, it is a Spring Boot starter running on Apache Tomcat 11. So actually, it is the Spring Boot 4 version that you are seeing currently. Additionally to that, in our GitHub repository, we still have the Spring Boot 3.5 version. We have a parallel artifacts for that, and we will be releasing them in parallel for some time. And now let's start with the new features. So for some of them who already know CIB 7, you know the tiles like taskless cockpit administration, and the modeler here is the new one. Once again, we're here in the Community Edition, so it will have only the basic functionality. If you have already some BPMN models of yours, you can local them from the, you can import them from the local file system, or you can create new ones. You can create the BPMN diagrams, DNNs, and forms. If we will go in the BPMN one, what you will see is the normal BPMN IO based editor that you may already know, for example, from Camunda desktop model, as you've been using it previously. Here, as a just simple example, I will create a short process with a history time to live like 9 days. And in the user task, I will create a generated form with some hello field of type string, right? I can save it or deploy it right away into currently running engine. We have here some console showing the error messages. If there are some, we can show you the warnings or the errors if your model is not perfect. One could download the BPMN to work with it locally, or can take a look at the XML representation of it. If you will try to deploy it, you will have the possibility to put some additional files to this BPMN, for example, as HTML forms. You can deploy it to your engine or deploy and start the process right away. Generally, at the BPMN modeler, you can work for it in your local environment. So this modeler deployed on your local system, as I'm doing currently. And once you're ready, you can deploy it to some staging system by changing the URL and providing some special credentials for that. If I will start it, nothing too much interesting will happen. I will go to task list and see this this form that I have currently created, right? If I will go to the cockpit processes, I will see that after the execution of this process, the variable hello was set to the value world. All right, this was the first basic view on this modeler. And to show you more possibilities that it has, I will save this one just and we'll start showing you directly the functionality of the new CIB7 AI agent that we have prepared for the new CIB7 release 2.2. How will it work? I can create a new diagram here saying something like AI, for example, and I can create a new task of type service task. Don't forget to set the history time to live. Maybe we can make it default value configurable in the future. And in order to use the new AI agent, you have to select a template. We have prepared for you this CIB7 AI agent template that is handling most work for you in this case. As an example, I would show you just a small input, the message, the prompt that I have prepared, explain BPMN in one sentence. I can save this diagram and start it in the same agent again. Let's see what will happen with this process. This was an AI process now. And if we will go here inside, we will see the agent result right away. The LLM, in this case, has written me some output. So how does it work under the hood? We have added in the CIB7 agent connector plugin based on the LangChain4j framework. As a connector plugin, it is not really necessary to have it in your setup if you are, for example, using CIB7 as an embedded engine. You can still use just basic number of CIB7 dependencies, and if you do not need any AI in your processes. If you want to have the AI agent additionally to the BPMN functions, you can add the connector plugin, the new jar file that we provide, ideally also with this element templates that we provide right away, and then it will work. This agent, it has like a name, a message, the normal user prompt, and some instructions. The instructions are used as a system prompt for the LLM. If you will not provide any, the default one that we have prepared for you will be used instead. Here we have also some additional possibilities to control through which you could control the LLM behind this agent. Currently, we support the OpenAI interface only. That's why we have tested it with the OpenAI interface itself, with the Open Router and the few local or Llama deployments that we have here at our company. You can define the model that you want to use coming from these model providers. You can define the API key to this API if needed. If it is not provided, it will be read from the environmental variables here in the system. And some reasoning effort can also be specified to the agent if needed. There are also a few more capabilities of this agent, but I will show you them to you during the demo session through few next examples. First of all, I will show you the human-in-the-loop process that we have prepared for you. It contains actually two processes here. The upper one is just a normal user process. The system is asking user for some input. This input is sent to the LLM, or in this case, AI with a human in the loop. And the result is presented to the user in the show AI output task. I can deploy this diagram to the engine again. Now I see here a few new processes. I will start the main AI process and will go to the tasks. What I see here is the prepared prompt to explain BPMN in one sentence, as I've been showing it to you previously. And now I've sent it to the AI agent to get the response. Here is the AI-generated result. It is a long one, and if I don't want to read it, I can just say, make it shorter, and click on complete. What will happen now? It goes back to the AI call, and what I see here, I see a shorter version. And if I'm okay with it, I click on approve. This was the process in the down there in the pool down there. And now I see the agent result in the upper process. So now I will go in the cockpit and show you a little bit what is happening there under the hood. So first process, it is here. I go into the process instance and see that it has called the process down there with the AI, with the human in the loop one. We see here that the token in the process came into start event just once, and here in the middle we have it twice because after the review it went back to the agent call. And as you may have seen, I've said in the review, just make it shorter. This is the response. This is the second prompt that is going to the LLM in this case. And so the LLM would not know to make what it should make shorter. That's how it works through this memory ID. If I will show you it in the element templates here, I have enabled the chat memory for this AI agent call, and I've provided the memory ID variable. So this is a little bit complex way to deal with that. If the variable does not exist, there will be null, and it will be created by the AI agent by the first time. When we go in this loop for the second time, the memory ID that we have here set as an output will be reused by the agent. In this way, we are getting in the loop and can have the memory for the agent for a few times. And since this memory ID is just a variable name, if you would have in your processes multiple AI agents running in parallel or one after another, if they need different memories, you can save them in the different variable names. All right, this was about the human in the loop, and now I can show you the next example. It is the knowledge base. So as for the knowledge base, you may have heard, if you have been working with the AI, about the retrieval augmented generation. So the main idea behind it, the LLM may know many things that it has been learned on, but if it needs some company specific or some internal information that is not available on the internet and the model has not been trained based on that, it can be provided through such retrieval augmented generation. I will deploy this BPMN to the system and will show it to you how it works. Generally, first of all, I will use the process read from RAG. The question here is, what is never speak? Never speak is just ZIP7 written backwards. And additionally to the prompt in this case, I have changed the instructions. I told the LLM that it should not, it should only provide the response based on the context and say if it's not there. This is why it says that there is nothing about the never speak in the information. It says only London is the capital of Great Britain. This is the first sentence that I've added in the vector database at this case. So now I have here the second process. I've deployed it already and can start it in the system. This is the write to RAG. It is saying that never speak is actually a tiny Java program. I can put it in the system. Now I see that there have been 3 chunks ingested in my knowledge database. As for the knowledge database, we have provided here the second element templates with a second connector, just as a helpful one. It is for saving the information into this RAG system. You can provide some information about the chunking or the different embedding models that you may use. You can use a local one or the one from the open AI if you want to. And currently, we support only the Postgres SQL here. So Postgres has a PG Vector Edition null plugin, and it is a vector database index inside of the Postgres. And yeah, so I have ingested this additional data. If I will start the process read from RAG once again, I will get the information that provided on the story. Never speak is a tiny Java program. So actually, this is the way how you could use the knowledge base in your processes in the future to get your local company information into the LLM. Now, as a next use case, I will show you some real life example. So why would you need that? Okay. So here we have prepared a customer feedback intelligent process. Yeah. So some customer feedback is coming from outside into your process. And first of all, you could put it in your knowledge database. Then you could run some analysis on that, analyze sentiment, be it positive or negative. If it is a long feedback, you can make a summary, and the user could have the negative feedback. And in this case, you just only get the success message. I will deploy this process also to the system just to show you what is doing. Here, the customer feedback intelligence. I would say the quality of your product is bad, and I'm the customer number 1. So this information is now sent to the knowledge base first, and then we see the result of the AI working in this process. It says the AI summary says the product quality is poor, and of course, you should make it better. And what has happened currently under the hood of this process is we have here actually two AI agents running in parallel. Analyze sentiment, doing one part of the job, and generate the summary. It is another part of the process. And yeah, so I can show it to you that it works, but what is actually happening inside of these black boxes, we could take a look more in detail in the Enterprise Edition in a minute. Before going there, I would show you the last example that I have prepared for now. It is the tool usage, or agentic process orchestration, if you want. So here we have once again an AI agent that can call, in this case, another processes. The process down here is just a tool. It's just one script doing not too much, just setting some variable and returning some value. As for the agent defined in the first process, we have given it the possibility to use the MCP servers with some custom authorization headers if needed. And you could also use the embedded tools based on the LangChain4j tool annotation. Out of the box, we provide the one process starter tool that will be used in this current demonstration. As an input, I have changed the instructions here, telling the LLM that it has a process starter tool that will start a process and will give you a result. And as for the prompt, I've told the system, please start process as a tool and read its output variables whose name starts with _. Now I deploy this to the system and start it through the tool usage in the AI agent, and we'll wait till it is through. And we'll go to the cockpit once again. Okay, and here is what has happened. The first process has started through the LLM tool, through the agent. The tool called process starter with the value process as a tool. There have been a process instance started with this ID, and as a result, it has got output hello from the second one. I can show you the process as a tool just to make sure this has also been executed, and it has two variables, only one has been provided back to the system, to the first process. But still, so what I see here is just a part of information, not everything. I do not see what was happening inside of this AI agent. And in order to do that, to show you what is happening inside, I will switch to CIB7 Enterprise Edition. So first of all, you see here a little bit more tiles. We have also here a modeler, but also the inside. CIB inside is a pendant to Camunda Optimize to analyze, so a little bit process mining, analyze the bottlenecks or some general situations inside of the processes running in CIB7. And if you are interested in that, you can take a look at our YouTube channel. We have a separate video only about that. It is an enterprise edition. That's why we have here some additional functions that community additional users may not know, like, for example, process instance search, decisions, humans, task search, batch operations, some operation log is also useful for for enterprise customers. You can see here what has been happening in this system. It was empty as I've started that, but as I've been preparing this demonstration, it has been happening many different operations, and they can be seen here. And this is the process instance search that is helping you to see what is happening in the system. But back to the main topic of today's demo. This is the modular Enterprise Edition. No, wait. Before I go there, I will finish with the AI agent, and I wanted to show you what is happening under the hood with the AI agents by themselves. All right. So here is my last run of this tool usage and AI agent. Additionally to some enterprise tabs that some of you may already know from the Enterprise Edition, we have added the new tab here. It's an agent tab. It shows what was happening inside of the agent itself. Here was the system prompt that the LLM has received. Here's the message that I've sent as a normal user prompt, and then the LLM knew, the agent knew that there is one tool available, and it has decided to call this tool. Some memory coming in with the reasoning and so on. And here you see the call of the tool itself, and the information that we get from there is that this process as a tool, has been called by the LLM. And the response coming to the system. In case if we would have more than just one agent in the diagram, you would get here two views like test analysis sentiment. This was the first task up there, where we have analyzed the input of the customer, like the quality of the product is bad, the response was negative. And in the second one, it was a summary with the system prompt to summarize the information, and the response was a shorter one. So we also have the information about the tokens coming in, coming out, and so on and so far. Okay, so this was the last part of the AI agent, and now we can go to the modular Enterprise Edition. So here, first of all, I will open the same human in the loop process, why not? And what we see here, we see down in the toolbar a few additional buttons. For example, we could save this process as SVG if we would like to print it out. Just a useful feature. We could filter or highlight some special elements. If the diagram is big and you want to find something specific there, you can just highlight the elements. You could also take a look at the token simulation, what is happening in the system. So this is generally the happy path that has been working, as I've been calling these two processes one by one. And then what could also be done here, if I will change this process and save it, and save it, you would see that a new snapshot has been created here. I can also add an additional element and save. Now I get the second version, second snapshot, and now I can compare the two of them. So the first against the second, and we see here one task has been added. On one hand, we show it visually. On the other hand, if you are interested in the XML, you would see also the changes done here. If you would like to, to revert your changes and go back to some previous version, just click on the process on the snapshot number 3 and save it, and now it has been saved as the last one. In this way, you can restore the previously saved diagrams. We have also prepared here some basic collaboration between the users that can be creating these diagrams. One of them will be this chat tab. Unfortunately, it is currently not working in my local setup. We can show it maybe later. On another hand, I can show it to you what will happen if another user will log in the system and will try to open the same diagram. Sorry, I will switch to English. All right, so it says that the process is blocked by the user demo, and you can accept this information, and if I, as a user John, will change it and will try to save, I will get the information that I can first save it by creating a new snapshot, or I can just say accept and wait till the user demo has finished his changes. This is just a basic functionality. In the future, we will do some more collaborative features, for example, introducing different permissions that some of users will be able to open the models only as a readers, and others will be able to change them or deploy them to the system. But this is a future work, so to say. All right, and I would say that this is it from these enterprise features that I wanted to show you for now. And probably you have seen this Ask AI button down here. This is our new BPMN agent that we have now in the system. The first feature capability that I would like to show you is the functionality Ask mode of the agent. So you get some BPMN diagram and you do not know what it is doing. So I would ask then the BPMN agent what is happening in this diagram. It has as a context the diagram itself and can answer to this question explaining what is happening actually in this diagram. During it, it says that the main orchestration, the user-facing one, is happening at the top one, and the AI execution loop at the bottom. It proposes also some improvements right off the box. Additionally to this, if it is too much, you can just make it smaller, or you can move it to the side to have more possibilities by it. I will leave it currently on this size, and will show you the next mode of this BPMN agent. So here I will try to create a new BPMN diagram. I will switch to the edit mode and will click auto accept. And I have asked the agent to create a process with Step 7 AI agent with the same prompt that I've been showing you before, explain BPMN in one sentence, and a human task with a tiny demo to review the results. What we see here, we see the XML shown here, we see the usage of the LLM, it took like 15 seconds. We see the visual feedback, what has been changed to what has been added, and the textual change log, so to say, down here. We can try this model out right away. I will just start the process directly. Start the process directly in the engine, and we'll take a look. It is actually more or less the same text coming from the model. So this is the newly deployed explanation process created by the by the BPMN agent, and you can see what has happened in the system. How it works, it uses the information about the templates and can put the necessary data inside here. What we could also do in this agent, we can change an existing BPMN, for example, by using the microphone. I would say here, please add a logging of the result before user review. All right, I'll send it to the agent again, and now during the editing is happening. Yeah, so what we see, it has added some script element here that will log the AI result. And we see the changes here in the middle. It has changed the review explanation and added the log AI result in the middle. Here, by switching between this modi, we have ask, edit, plan mode, and all of them are implemented actually through different agents under the hood with different system prompts and with different available tools for them. What I could show you next is the playing mode. It will be maybe a little bit complicated, but still I have prepared a prompt for that. Ask AI, switch to the plan mode, and I will turn off the auto accept, but actually it doesn't matter. Here, yeah, so this should create a diagram with some script task and wait for the holidays or something like that. So the proposed plan consists of 3 steps. What the user can do is approve this plan and see the execution just step by step. The user could reject or revise it, but given some more information, or the user could give the quick draft just to try, okay, I like this plan, let's implement that. So during its working, no, I will let it run for some time now. And here I see what it proposed. I have turned off the auto accept mode. Now I can say apply the changes, and I see the diagram here created by the system. Additionally to the edit or plan mode that are working on the new diagrams, we can actually change an existing BPMNs. As an example, I will take the previously shown customer feedback BPMN, and now I would do the following. I will use the knowledge base BPMN that I've been showing you previously, like ingesting the data in the vector database and reusing it afterwards. And I will just ask the AI agent to read, to use the same way as read from reg from the attached BPMN, and provide more information from the knowledge base before the handover to the user for handling the negative feedback. And during it working on this task, I can tell you a little bit more about how this is generally configured. The BPMN agent is designed in the same manner as the AI agent, as I've told you before. We are using the same LangChain4j framework underneath. It has the same capabilities, and it has the usage of tools and has different models. And we use the same currently. We are limited to the same open AI interface here. In this system that I'm showing to you, we have configured different models. We have configured two model providers. The top 4 models are coming from the OpenAI itself. The bottom models are coming from the Open Router. And the administrator who is preparing the system, or the developer, if you are working in the test mode, they can put just in some configuration like application YAML the URLs of the OpenAI interfaces to the OpenAI itself, or to the Open Router, or to the Ollama, and the necessary data like the API keys to be used by the systems. And here, if I will switch between the models, you will see that reasoning is also changing, that not all models support this effort level. But generally, yeah, this is how it's working under the hood. We have shown also some information about the context here. It is also connected to the models and so on and so far. You will find most of this information in the documentation later when we will release it. So during I was talking, the model has changed my diagram, all right? And it has added the retrieve support context element here. This is the same AI agent, and what it has here, it has the RAG configuration. It has been copied from the previous one. And I can deploy this process also to my system, and we'll try to run it once again. So here, start process, customer feedback intelligence. I will just write the same information, and here we go. The information is sent to the LLM. We have to wait a little bit, maybe for the content retrieval. We'll see. Or maybe this time the AI has made no mistake here. So we see the AI suggested resolution, the quality is bad, and so on and so far. And the information down there, yeah, is extracted from the knowledge base. We can take a look also in the process here. What has happened with the system, just an agent chat. Now we have the 3 of them, all right, and one of them was content retrieval. Okay, so I think that that was all that I wanted to show to you. So maybe, yeah, just a last one before I will hand over to Tom back, and we will take a look at your questions. Just a more complex case, another 15 seconds. I hope we can wait for them. That it is not only can create some linear simple BPMNs, but also a complex orchestration can be provided with the routing, parallel gateways, and so on and so far. It is still generating. 1, 2, 3. But yeah, all right. So here we have it. That's it from my side, I would say.
Thank you, Oleg. That was a lot of ground covered in a very short time, and I think you did great. Now let's go to the questions. Throughout the session, you've been dropping some in the Q&A tool, and here's what we're going to do. We walk through the most upvoted ones, like we said before. If you still have any questions, feel free to drop them any moment, and we will see them. So I would like to start with the first one with 8 upvotes from Daniel Kellenberger about the web modeler. Is there any plan or way to have the modeler to run standalone, not as a desktop, but as a web application without the need to deploy the whole SIP7 engine? idea is to work as a team on BPMN ends. So Oleg, you ready to take the first one?
Yeah, so currently we are not thinking about creating a desktop modeler on our side. And as a team, you can also deploy it. So as a single person, you can run it on your machine, or you can deploy a single one as a web application somewhere and work on that together. We are not planning to do the desktop modeler. But you are still free to use the same Camunda's desktop modeler for the Camunda 7 version. It is totally compatible with our CIB7 engine. We have not changed either on our side or on Camunda's side in sense of the models created in the Camunda desktop modeler are still runnable in our process and process engine and other way around. We are not adding any specific on our side.
Thank you so much, Oleg. So it's not available as a desktop modeler, but as a standalone web app. It's available. Perfect. Thank you so much for the answer. Then let's jump to the next question from Alexander Petyoki with 6 upvotes about the modeler as well. And how are permissions for viewing, editing, etc. the models organized? Question mark. Is it possible to restrict them on project, group level, or per model?
Currently, we do not have any restrictions on the model. We will introduce them in the next versions so that it will work similar as the permissions on the process instances, that based on the ID you could give permission to read or change the models. And for now, we do not have any projects in CIB7. We have another product that is a bigger one, that is a platform, CIBFlow. They have on their side the projects with the different BPMNs, CMNs, not sure, DMNs at least, and forms. And there we could use such project-based approach. The web modeler was also a part of CIBFlow, similar as the whole web client before that we have moved to CIB7 and created some part of it as a community open source edition. Maybe we will do the same also with the projects, but we have to take a look. We have to do it step by step, and we'll see in the next version how far we will move the functionality from CIBFlow to CIB7.
Thank you very much, Oleg, for that answer. We're going to move on to the next question, which is also coming from an Alexander, but this time from Bikadorov. And the question is 100% compatibility of the BPMNs guaranteed between the CIB modeler engine and Camunda modeler engine in both directions? If yes, are there any plans to introduce incompatibilities in the future?
Thank you for the question. No, we do not plan to introduce any incompatibilities. The idea of CIB7 was to create a solution for people coming from Camunda 7 Community Edition that faced the end of life of Camunda 7. And we have tried to do as much as possible to make it simpler for them, to make a simple migration, to introduce as less breaking changes as we can. And the same is here about the modeler. We are still creating the BPMNs that should be runnable totally on actually even Camunda 7 still, 724 at least. And even our new AI agent, it is created just as a plugin. So if you do not need it, you will not need the dependencies, and it is added through the element templates. So actually nothing new that we are introducing here from the naming or breaking changing perspective.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Oleg. Then we have another question, and I think it's rather a question for me than for you, Oleg. I'll do my best to answer it, and it's from Diego Perez Pastor. Do you have any official partner in Spain? So we have a location in Spain, two to be exact. We have one in Valencia, and then we have also one in Las Palmas, Gran Canaria, where I'm located here. We have the headquarters in Munich. We don't have any official partners in Spain, even though we are in communication with potential partners. So feel free to reach out to us via the contact form on cib7.org, and we will definitely find a solution. Whether you're looking for a partner or becoming a partner, feel free to contact us. Then the next question from Andre Wiesner is Postgres mandatory for all CIB7 or only as vector store for the AI use cases? Oleg.
It is only necessary for AI use cases. So we're still supporting all the databases as before. So Postgres, Oracle, MS SQL, MySQL, MariaDB, DB2. So CIB7 itself, we have not touched the engine. This Postgres with PG Vector, it was just the simplest way to introduce some knowledge base in the system, and you can run it as a separate database additionally if you need this functionality at all. So no, it is not a mandatory for any CIB7 distribution.
Thank you, Oleg. Then we have one question from the chat before we go back to the Q&A tool. Is a model created, edited via the web modeler, stored locally in this CIB7 instance, or is it synced with the cloud?
As for the cloud, CIB7 is running in this case locally on my machine, or it can be run on premise in any Kubernetes or however you want to run it. But the models, they are saved in the database. So we are using here the same database as the main CIB7 engine. If you would like to use CIB7 as only a modeler with the possibility to test your BPMN processes during the modeling, you will use the same database. But if you will be using the CIB7 as an engine, like before with running processes and so on, you will get 2 or 3 additional tables in your database, but you will not have any additional data there. So yes, it is saved in the cloud if you want to, and through the download button you can save them locally on your machine or export from the system. In the future, we want also to introduce the Git repository connector in the Enterprise Edition, but we still have to go in this direction.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Then we have another question which just got 2 upvotes. It's from Pinto Sahu. Any plan to add MCP tool for overall process instance level communication via NLP, like process mining using NL to find bottlenecks and find process instance status using NL?
Okay, thank you very much for this question. Tom, I will grab the screen shortly again.
Go for it.
I hope you see my screen. So we have prepared 2 MCP plugins. So both of them are currently still in a private state, but they're totally prepared and we can make them public together with the new release. So this one is CIB7 MCP REST API. Another one is CIB7 MCP Process Executor. So the first one is for operational guys. If they want to find out how many incidents are there in the system, or if they want to solve them through the LLM, like working in the VS Code with Claude Code or whatever you're using there, then you can just start this Spring plugin. It is based on Spring AI in this case, and it will convert your CIB7 REST API into an MCP interface. We have here some description, what dependency I need and how to start it. And the second one, it converts all your processes into MCP tools. So here each process can be used also externally in the Cloud Code or through the cursor or whatever you're using for the agentic locally. You could start the processes right away here. This one is also, and of course you can use both of them in a parallel. So what we have prepared here is also in our normal CIB7 get starting Spring Boot repository in the branch CIB7 MCP servers. Here we have prepared an example how to start them in parallel. One moment, somewhere here, the MCPs 1 and 2. I thought that it would be too much for the session. That's why I have not shown this information before.
Thank you very much for showing, Oleg. It's very cool. And then we have a tie here between Kim Daniel and Pascal. I will go first with the Kim Daniel question and then with Pascal. Do you plan to fork and extend the BPMN IO libraries as well?
No, we do not plan that because they are currently used further by others and they are maintained. There is no need. If we would need to, we may do that, but currently no plans about that.
Thank you, Oleg. Then the question from Pascal here. Are you planning some required changes at the database used by the process engine in somehow break compatibility with Camunda 7.24?
Not sure what is this question about, but generally we are not planning any breaking changes. So we added few tables for the modeler, but for now this is it. We are trying to not break anything and be fully compatible further, because we know that that Camunda 7 exists as an enterprise edition for a few more years, and if the companies that do not want to change the architecture and to go to either Camunda 8 or any other BPMN agent, they are welcome to switch to CIB7 in the upcoming years. And that's why we are preserving the backwards compatibility.
Perfect. Thank you, Oleg. Then we have two last questions, I would say, looking at the time. First question was made 46 minutes ago, so I think it got answered though. Are there any plans to integrate agentic AI into CIB7 as well?
I think, yes, we have.
We have. And then the last question from Albert Ludwig here is, are you planning to support an Azure AI integration? Direct connection to OpenAI is currently not an option for us due to the data protection requirements around sensitive customer data.
Once again, what we're using there is the OpenAI interface. It doesn't mean that it should be OpenAI itself, Open Router or the locally hosted or Llama. It also speaks OpenAI interface. And as far as I know, the AWS Bedrock or some Azure AI tools could also talk, probably also do talk OpenAI interface. So they can be used out of the box.
Perfect. Then I think we have reached the time limit. Thank you all for the questions. That brings us to an end. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for all the questions again. We got through as many as we could. I've seen one or two coming in right now. Please try to contact us. A few notes on what's coming next. First, the recording will package the session and publish it on YouTube within the next weeks. So you can rewatch any part shared with colleagues who couldn't join today. And secondly, the road from here to the 2.2 release is coming soon. It's our next milestone. So please test it, break it. That's exactly the input we are looking for. And looking a bit further ahead, what you saw today is our foundation on our roadmap for the next release window in autumn. We are already exploring agent-to-agent communication so that AI agents inside the processes can coordinate with each other directly. More on that closer to time. Speaking about the autumn, we'll have our next community event coming around in October. And therefore, please stay updated and be in the newsletter so you get all the latest news. And then as of our outro, I want to give Oleg a big thank you for walking us through all of these final questions today. And
was glad to do that.
Thank you, Oleg. And then last thing that is to say is, if you're interested in CIB7 and want to explore how it could fit your environment, please reach out to us via the contact form on cib.de or cib7.org. We are happy to help you stay connected, and we're looking forward to launch 2.2 as soon as possible. Take care, everyone. Thank you so much.